What's up, guys? How's it going? It is Monday, the 12th, which means next Monday at this time, I will have just finished my consultation with Dr. Fisher, and I will probably be back in DC, about to enjoy the presidential inauguration festivities. So that means my surgery is a week and 2 days away. So 9 days, which is only this many days. And actually, this one right here is today's. And I think I might have already read this in a previous one because I redid my chain that I'd made before that I was talking to you guys about and reused some of the quotes. And today's quote is, anything you could ever want to be, you already are and you already have. So that's cool. I like that one. I'd mentioned I made a video before and then it would never post. I don't know why. But I got a new camera, a new web camera, and it has some extra features. And what is it called? It's called Magic Eye software, and I can't figure out how to get it to work. And it's just like an extra that goes with this camera, so it's not really necessary. But this is the camera. If anyone has that and they've figured out how to get the Magic Eye to work, let me know, because I've erased the software and reloaded it like 3 times because I looked online and it said some people had the same problem and it was just like corroded upload or whatever, but it's still not working. So that's kind of going on. I had therapy this morning. It's the first time in my life I decided to go to therapy on my own. So I really like my therapist. Pretty much every other time I was forced to go to therapy or I had to for hormones or that. I was meeting with this therapist before for my surgery letter, and I decided to continue. And I was joking around with her last time, and I was like, "You're my favorite therapist I've ever had, and as many as I've had, that's a big compliment." And she just kind of laughed at me, but she's pretty kick-ass. I've talked a lot about my ex and like how she's pretty fucking crazy, and my therapist today, what do you call the word? Compared her to getting my tonsils taken out, which I thought it was hysterical, because I was telling her how, like, when I got my tonsils taken out when I was really little, and my IV fell out of my hand, and the nurse was trying to stick the IV back in through the same hole, and how it hurt like a bitch, and, like, it was just kind of fucking stupid. So, my therapist is just brilliant. But, we were talking about my family and told her how I didn't get to go home for Christmas and how I think my mom lied to me about what happened. And I was kind of telling her the story, and she's like, "Yeah, it kind of does sound like that." And she told me that I need to open up the door to my father if I still want to have a decent relationship with him, and how I would go about doing so, being so far away. And my dad travels all the time, so like I'll call and text him, and it's separate from my mom, and my mom never finds out. And that's pretty much the only way I can talk to my dad, because if I call the house and I ask for my dad, my mom will get pissed that I don't want to talk to her. So I'm kind of thinking that to open the door, like my therapist says, maybe whenever my dad's somewhere near the area, like he flies into Charlotte a lot, I'm thinking maybe if he's got a layover or if he's doing something in Charlotte or surrounding area of some sort that's close, maybe I can meet up with him for lunch or dinner or something sometime. And she told me not to get my hopes up, that it might take him a little bit of time to be able to do that, not just to be able to meet with me, but to go behind my mom's back and hang out with me. And she said to give it some time and not worry about it. And then I also talked to her about how my mom doesn't want me to tell extended family, but that I want to tell my extended family and I want to keep in contact with them, because my grandparents are going downhill and I don't want to not have any contact with them and then all of a sudden they die. Like, they mean a lot to me, and I love my grandparents very, very much, and I've never been able to be that close to them because I've always lived so far away. And I would like to write a letter to them and explain to them what's going on. And when Caleb and I eventually move out to California, I would like to do, a cross-country road tour and have the both of us be able to go places that we want to go to on the way out to California. And my grandparents' house is one of the places I'd like to go, and I need to tell them before I go. And I know they won't be surprised. I think they'll be a little bit like, wow, I didn't know that was really possible, because my grandparents are old school. Like, they don't know how to use a computer, they don't have cell phones, they don't have any of that kind of stuff. So this kind of information wouldn't be straight up like, hey, like, they just wouldn't know about it. And I would never hold that against them, and I know that it wouldn't be a shock for them to see me this way. And so I would like them to have the chance to get to know me. And my mom doesn't want that to happen. So I was talking to my therapist about that, and she said, that right now is not a rush, and that, and same with moving, that that nothing needs to be set until there's a set date. And as soon as there's a set date, whether it's 6 months in advance, whether it's 3 months in advance, that's my set date, and nothing needs to be rushed until then. And that's very true. And I don't know when a set date's going to be made, because there's a set date that it has to be after, and that's after Caleb graduates, but it's not set in stone like exactly 1 week or 2 weeks after he graduates. It's kind of, we need to plan it and invest in it, and it's going to be hard because we're both going to be paying off surgery this whole year. But I'm like very not happy with where I am. I feel stuck, and not necessarily like I can't leave here. I just, in this point in time right now, I feel like I'm not progressing financially, job-wise, whereas I'm progressing drastically emotion-wise and taking care of myself. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere in North Carolina, and maybe California isn't going to be like a whole lot better, but it's going to be better. I'll be accepted more in the job field. I'll be able to have a greater chance of getting a job. Maybe I won't get a job as soon as I'd like to, but it'll happen faster than it ever would here. And I need to do things for myself. That I can't be stuck here, miserable. Not that I'm miserable, but I'm not happy. And I want better things for myself. And so I need to do those things for myself. And I've also been kind of like anti-relationship. I don't want to meet anyone. I want to stay my distance. I want to hang out with my friends, and I don't want to go out in public because I don't want to take the chance of meeting someone, because I don't want to get absorbed and hurt. And my cats are going crazy. And I keep talking about my therapist, but she's just brilliant, and she says wonderful things. So she made a good point that I can shut the door, but make sure I don't slam it. And that's good. That if someone does come around, and I take the time to know what I want, and if I see that person, make sure the door isn't slammed. That I can still go to California and have them here, and if it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be, Also, it'll give me time to review my personal values and goals, which is very true, because I don't think I've really taken time to look at that, like, in-depthly. Like, I know what my values are, but do my values match up with my words? So, and also be able to look at that person and see if their values match up with their words. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going down. Reevaluating life, and surgery's in 9 days. That's crazy. Alright. I'm gonna watch some Netflix, and then probably hit up the gym later tonight. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope everyone's doing well.